I was walking across the living room floor and all of a sudden, bam, I stopped because there was a man in my head and he wouldn't let me move until he delivered this message. And he told me this story about how he was holding his lover and he started to fade away from her piece by piece and the anguish that he felt as he was fading away from her. And I felt it. And I was 7 years old and I grabbed a pen and a paper and I wrote a poem. I wrote a poem from the perspective of a grown ass man at 7 years old. And he used all the language of a grown man. And I didn't even really know what I was doing. I was channeling a spirit and I was writing it. And I went into my parents who were like cleaning the pantry and there were 3 kids in the house. And I said, Mom, Dad, I wrote a poem. They're like, get out of here, kid. We're busy. And I was like, okay. And I tossed it on the table and completely forgot about it. And the next day I remember my father coming up to me several times going, that was a really good poem, Ingrid. Like, where did you get that idea? And I remember he looked at me and he said, why did you write it from the perspective of a grown man? And I was like, I don't know, because I had no language to describe what had just happened. But it became a passion. Writing and channeling became a passion for me. Channeling before I even knew what was going on. And I'd write poems and poems and poems. And if you're on my Facebook page or, anywhere where there's more of a text-based social media platform, you'll see me writing, channeling spirit and writing, just writing. And then also the connection with the human experience, that intensity of grief and trauma and conditioning. And what do I do now? I work with people in a spiritual capacity with their grief and their trauma. I help them learn how to channel, and I write and I write and I write. And I travel full time. It's not a bad life. So when 10 years ago, as I was embarking on this journey through the vehicle of my passion, it's like, well, how the hell am I supposed to make a living with that? Like, how am I supposed to, I'm going to end up under a bridge, but spirit guides you one step at a time. You will be guided when you commit to being of service through the vehicle of your passion. You will be guided one step at a time. You'll never see the 5-year plan. That is not what this life is about. This life is about faith in this moment. It is your passion. That is what you are here to do. And you may not know how the hell that's going to work out, but if you make that commitment and you take one step in that direction, you will be guided and you will be taken care of.